We're back here in Fort Myers, Red Sox in Fort Myers, presented by Jordan's Furniture, continuing, and we're joined now by the Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez, here early in camp this year working with some of the Red Sox pitchers. And I wanted to talk about one right out of the gate. I saw you with Tyler Thornburg the other day, and I think he's a guy that people have forgotten about. A couple of years ago, one of the best relievers in the National League. It's all about health for him, obviously. What have you seen from him, and how's that work been going?
Well, this is the best time, I'm having when it comes to his physical shape. I've seen him like a guy that's finally healthy, that's been able to rest. Because a lot of people don't understand that sometimes you come off an injury and you have to work your entire season, your entire year doing rehab, and then you go home and the spring training is there and you don't get enough time to rest. This is the only season where I think he went home, got enough time to rest, and finally come over and be healthy. And I think it's going to pay off for him. The ball comes out of his hands really crisp. The breaking ball is really sharp. I think what he needs right now is the reps on top of the mound and hopefully take him in a pace where he can actually adjust himself to what he wants to do. Because right now what he lacks is a little bit of time on top of the bump, getting accustomed to it.
I asked him what it was like to have you working with him, and he said, I just want to hand him the ball and let Pedro do it. But yeah, as you work with these guys close up, one-on-one, do you sometimes have to get them to, stop looking at me at a Hall of Famer, listen to me as a guy who's helping you, a guy who's coaching you right now?
I try to make sure that they understand that I'm not a Hall of Famer when I'm there. I'm a teammate. I'm their friend. I'm someone that sociable that they can approach at any moment. I want them to trust the fact that I bring knowledge, yes, and I did my things on the bump, but at the same time, I'm that teammate that you can rely on. I mean, I'm someone like a David Price, Chris Sale, Porcello, who's someone that I know mingles with literally everyone in camp, and I want to be that guy. I want to be that friend. I don't want them to look at me based on whatever achievements I have. I want them to trust me as a friend, to trust me as a coach, or someone that's probably more than that. It's just a teammate that's going to be there for them.
That was a role you held as a pitcher at times when you were with the Red Sox. We were just talking before we came on. I mean, I think people forget. You came in, Roger Clemens had left, and people didn't know what the future of that rotation was going to be like. For still a young man at that point, you had a lot of responsibility in that rotation.
A lot of them, and not only that, I became really close with Jason Veritek, my battery mate, and at the same time Derek Lowe, who was the guy that came over with him in the trade. So I felt like I was the old GOAT for Bronson Arroyo, for Derek Lowe, and some of the guys that were there in the starting rotation, except for maybe Wakey and Portugal at that time. Right. But as we got younger in the starting rotation, I felt like responsible for those guys and protecting those guys and teaching those guys. So the transition from me, from a player to a next player to now a coach, is not that big of a deal because I'm used to dealing with that. I'm used to teaching. I'm used to helping out. And I'm used to being a teammate that wants to look out for the next guy up.
You know, when you look around, Derek Lowe's already been here chatting with Porcello a little bit. Jason Veritek's very involved. Mike Lowell last year came in and worked with Rafael Devers. Alex Cora seems really open to that, right? More voices, the more guys who have done it who can help will only make this team better.
Well, Alex has no ego. This is a guy that won 108 games in his first year as a manager in the big leagues. Won a World Series. Has right now the biggest popularity in all Boston, but he has no ego when it comes to that. He understands. He's a good teammate, and that's how we deal with each other. It's as if we were teammates still, that we were part of the team. And Alex understands that playing as a team is better for all of us, for the players, for the coaches. There's no jealousy between anybody in this entire staff. And it reflects on the players too. The players are not selfish. They're all working together, working as a pack to beat the opposition.
When we talked about Tyler Thornburg, you were talking about off-season and being ready at the start of spring training. Eduardo Rodriguez looks to be in incredible shape. And I think when you talk to people, he's going to be 26 years old. It's a young man who could be just entering his prime years. What do you expect from Erod this year?
You know, I just want him to be healthy and finally hit that level, the 25 to 28, 30 outings. Now he knows what it takes to endure an entire season. By pitching in the postseason, I think Eduardo really learned what it takes to go the extra mile. Even though he didn't take all those starts that he was supposed to take, his mental approach, I think, is there. It's just a matter of having God bless him with the health he needs to see what would happen if he takes 30 starts. He's not the only one in camp that has caught my attention. I think the entire staff, the entire group of guys, that's the word between all of us, the coaches. How well prepared these kids are. Third day into spring training, and everybody seems to be almost game ready. The other day, I saw the entire staff go through the bullpen session indoors, and it's shocking to see in how good of a shape everybody is, how well prepared everybody is to right now start the season. Probably you know what? It doesn't surprise me because they came off the World Series and they didn't have much time to rest. But the way they look, it's totally impressive. It's something. In my long time in the big leagues and in the minor leagues, I've never seen guys in such a shape so early in the spring training, in camp. I mean, it's like they couldn't wait for the season to come over again for them to start again. It's very weird the way things are looking right now. Everybody seems to be in shape.
And Alex wants to take it easy with the pitchers because of the workload of October and everything. Is that something, you were a competitor, when someone tells you got to back off, that's not easy for a competitor, is it?
Well, he's listening to what we went through, and he knows that everybody that goes through a World Series normally gets a little bit of a hangover because we experience it, and that's what makes everything special around here. We have been there. Tech has been there with the catchers. I've been there with the pitchers. The relievers, that Keith Folk and those guys, Derek Lowe, some of those guys that endured the World Series, that understand what the World Series will do to you, the extra month, you know, the extra amount of pressure to win a World Series does to your body, leads us to try to teach those guys what's coming. Now, the biggest problem for Alex, and believe me, I'm gonna be right there with him, is gonna be pacing those guys back from where they are, because like I just told you, they are in great shape, and those guys, I don't think wanna feel like they're gonna have to let up on what they're doing. They're ready. They wanna continue to feel that way. It's gonna be hard dealing with those guys saying, "Hey, back off a little bit from what you just did."
Because they're ready to go. Can they do it again? Can they repeat?
They have the talent. I would never predict that they're going to do it again. It's really difficult to do, but we are ready. The team is ready. Everything that we needed is there, except for the closer that just we don't know if we're going to get him back or whatever. But plenty of arms, plenty of talent. Thornburg being one of those guys that has closing experience. Barnes seems to be ready to take over. I mean, everybody that you see in camp seems to have the tools that we need to make him become a closer. And hopefully, with the less amount of pressure now that we want it, we have enough time to get that guy over the hump to become a closer. If we don't sign one like Kimbrough.
All right. Well, the fans are smiling now.
Oh yeah, I'm happy. So don't worry. Don't worry. It's under control. Everybody, Boston. We have talent, and hey, we have the tools to win it again.
Don't worry, be happy, says
Yes.
Pedro Martinez here in Florida. Thank you, my friend.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Pedro Martinez with us. We'll take a break, come back with more after this.